Hey, I'm Nose. Welcome to Nose for the Ball. Today, I wanted to attempt to answer a question that I've been wondering for a long time. Does awareness actually matter in Madden anymore? Now, everybody's long assumed it doesn't really matter that much if it's who you're controlling, but it does matter for the CPU teams and whoever on your team you're not currently controlling. But so much stuff has changed with Madden ratings and what ratings actually exist that I'm not sure this really actually means anything anymore. So you can see I've set Patrick Mahomes here to a 0. It's dropped his rating all the way to an 80 from a 98. But I want to look through his ratings. I don't know why it says awareness 1 there. It's definitely a 0. But ball carrier vision, that's been added. Definitely seems like an awareness type thing. Route running to some extent could kind of be an awareness thing. Keep going through the list here. Throw on the run, throw under pressure, especially like that seems like it might be an awareness type item. Maybe play action. I don't know. It seems like a stretch, but these ratings didn't all exist in Madden 10, 15 years ago. Play recognition definitely seems like just defensive awareness. Pursuit maybe a little too, like pursuit angles. Man in zone coverage, absolutely. Kickers awareness is really important for them. What do they actually have to be aware of? The wind, it factors into the rating. But then we've also got all these different traits in the game now. Throwing the ball away, sensing pressure, one might just call that pocket awareness. Forces passes, that sounds like making good reads, which sounds like awareness. Covering the ball is like awareness that you're about to take a shot. Playing the ball in the air, definitely, especially for defenders, that seems like an awareness thing. Even high motor seems like it could go into that. Some of the catching traits, I don't know. But to find out, I didn't just set Mahomes to 0. I set everybody on the Super Bowl winning Chiefs to a 0 awareness. Like Mahomes, everybody's overall has dropped like a rock. The team overall is down from a 91 to a 68, 23 points. Then I took the Bears, who earned the number 1 pick, and set all of their awareness to 99. I figured the best way to test this out, give the worst team maximum awareness, give the best team no awareness. Justin Fields here up to an 83 from a 76 overall. I think his awareness was originally at 65. Now it's 99. Mahomes had a 97. Now it's 0. So to test this out for starters, I'm going to jump into a couple games, play one game as each, and see what I notice. What does the gameplay look like on the field? Do the Chiefs look like completely lost morons out there, the same way that I am trying to find them in the team list? Do the Bears look like absolute geniuses with eyes in the back of their head? I don't know. We'll find out. I'm going to have it set to all pro to make sure that the game isn't really cheating like it sometimes does on all Madden. Going to have just normal 6-minute quarters. I didn't bother messing with my sliders. It shouldn't really matter. Whatever the settings, the Chiefs should look like morons, and the Bears should look like a team that is better than the Bears. When just playing on all pro, especially with evenly matched teams, I generally dominate, although it can take me some time to get going. So I figured, hey, Mega Mind Bears against the lobotomized Chiefs, I figured I could do whatever I wanted and still succeed. So I called my favorite overly aggressive play, and it wasn't working, so I decided to switch to a normal defense. Sadly, for the first few plays, the Bears' 99 awareness across the board only served to make me painfully aware of how bad they are everywhere else. Here's a nice clip of me, a destitute hit stick addict, using Eddie Jackson to absolutely no effect on Isaiah Pacheco. The Chiefs slowed down a little bit after that, only picking up a few yards of play, but finally Jerick McKinnon waltzed into the end zone. Actually, as I watch this back, it looks maybe more like a swing dance. Chicago has a 14-point advantage in the overall category, but it really doesn't look like it. They're an 82, 83 on one side of the ball, 81 on the other, I don't remember, whereas the Chiefs, as I said before, are 68 across the board, but they just looked like they were the Super Bowl winning Chiefs driving down the field on one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Mahomes completed all of their passes. I think every play went for positive yardage, and the Bears didn't really seem to have any kind of spidey sense on defense. I wasn't really sure what to do with the Bears on offense. Nobody's particularly good or fun to use in Madden, but I figured maybe I could cheese the low awareness with some play action. Obviously, play rec on defense and Justin Fields' play action rating are going to have a big effect, but awareness should maybe do something. It worked out there. It didn't look really that much different than when it works out normally, but I guess if you have a lot of success, it should work. Also wanted to see what they looked like against the run. Hands it off. I don't know, seems like a normal Madden run. Well, let's try a normal shotgun pass. I'm just going to throw it up here to Velus Jones Jr. really fast, not much else. Hey, that was actually pretty close. Decent coverage, though. Third down, got to keep the drive moving, so I'm just going to go for one of my favorite plays here. Decided to scramble out with Fields. I thought he'd be a lot faster. That did not work. Karlaftis seemed pretty aware. I'm just going to cheese it, try and flip the play and do the same thing again, because I was feeling lazy, didn't really want to try and call something else. Chiefs are coming for me, and Claypool makes the catch. Or not. Certainly could have done better with that drive if I wasn't just trying to test things. But Chiefs played everything pretty well. You know, I had some openings, so it doesn't really look very promising so far. Mahomes drops back to pass, finding nothing, loses the football, and the Chiefs dive on it. I feel like if there's one thing awareness should play into, it's knowing that the quarterback has fumbled the ball in the pocket. And I think the Bears, with their 99 awareness, should have been more aware just standing there than the Chiefs' offensive line who had to stand around and dive on it. Like, that seems like the perfect play to test it on, and it was a failure. Now, that is probably my personal lack of awareness. Jumping ahead, the Chiefs have been marching down the field. A lot of chunk plays, some not as big, but nothing negative since the sack, except for a holding penalty, which you would think could maybe be an awareness thing, except there's also a trait for discipline and causing penalties, so not actually awareness. Did get a red zone stop though, so hey, that's something. Well, I'd really like to get points in this half, but the Chiefs have barely let me have the ball, so I'm not really sure what to do. Barely getting the pass away. Really good coverage by, I think that's the linebacker, Nick Bolton, on really fast Velus Jones. That's just a Madden thing, man. He should not be able to keep up. Gonna try play action again here, because I don't know what else to do. And yikes. Fields hit as he threw, and the Chiefs knew exactly how to react to that in the air. Well, thanks to classic Madden coaching AI, the Chiefs ran up to the line, let the play clock auto wind, and then called a timeout with 12 seconds left and kicked a field goal instead of throwing it towards the end zone a couple times. But I can't touch Andy Reid's coaching ratings, so that's not part of the experiment. Figured I'd try one more play before halftime, and what just happened? Montgomery makes a cut block here, and I've never seen that animation before. Since I'm sure we're all starting to see the writing on the wall for this part of the experiment, I'm going to skip forward a little more to me just trying to come back into this game. Got it out to Velus Jones here on a linebacker. Again, that's Willie Gay, who should not be in man-on-man coverage, and that's a touchdown. The Chiefs were driving again, but we got a lucky stop. They decided to try a 59-yard field goal. They had 3 miles of wind with them, but nowhere close. Not really sure if that's the awareness settings. It could be because I still have my all Madden sliders active and that tanks the field goal kicking a little bit. Or it could just be that Madden AI kickers are bad. So my comeback attempt continues from midfield. If you look in the middle of the field, there's a linebacker crossing all the way to cover while the safety does nothing. I don't know what that was. That was like 99 awareness on the linebacker, 0 on the safety. I'm not sure if that's the 0 awareness finally playing out for the safety, or if that's just Madden TM. For the next few plays, I just kind of did my thing. It worked out. Nothing terribly interesting happened as far as the experiment, but we did end up getting in the end zone on a little run play here. Took our first lead of the game, which I was grateful for after getting destroyed in the first half. With a second chance at life, I was determined not to make the same mistakes as I did in the first half, but the Bears still suck. Yeah, not much I could have done there. But hey, at least they missed the 2-point conversion because of this animation. Usually that one works against me. It was at this point that I remembered Justin Fields could run, so I tried the option. And then he just jogged. I tried it again just to see if I forgot to hold the right trigger or something. He got more yards this time, but he didn't really run. Maybe he's so aware of his surroundings that he's just kind of distracted. Went back to my play action strategy, and they didn't bite at all. Like, I know I didn't touch their play recognition, but come on, they've got 0 awareness. They're just, I guess they were unaware that he even faked the handoff? Willie Gay here, unaware of having his chest prodded. Yep, that's a play I'd expect a safety with 0 awareness to make. Justin Fields about to get crushed, and hey, Chase Claypool actually shows off some awareness. Comes back to the ball. Nice. Of course, terrible players do that in this game all the time, so I don't know if it means anything. And there's me having zero awareness again. What is the cameraman doing? Wow, that almost worked. Seriously, isn't this guy supposed to be good with the ball in his hands? Well, this drive was like a million plays long and full of stupidity, but we finally got in. We even got in on the 2-point conversion on pretty much the same play. Just wanted to show this play quick. Nothing really interesting happens in a vacuum, but McKinnon can't stay in bounds, and that's Mahomes' first incompletion. He was 17 of 17 for 161 yards before that. He has zero awareness. I mean, we all know backups play like all pros in this game, but come on, he's got zero awareness, Madden. Oh, he just finally made his first mistake. I honestly thought he would never throw an incompletion in this game. Well, I actually almost blew this game, tried to pick that one off and missed. Thankfully, though, we recovered the onside kick, so I retained my dignity for a little bit longer. So, time for the next step of the experiment. Just as an FYI, the Play Now screen doesn't show the actual team overalls for your loaded roster. As a reminder, Chiefs a 68 across the board, Bears are an 82 overall, being 83 in offense, 81 defense. Now, I wanted to do both sides of the matchup because I feel like it would make sense for the CPU having its awareness at 0 to just kind of get a pass from the game, whereas the user having the awareness at 0 would actually get punished. Alright, so here's the first play. As an aside, does anyone else hate how the linebackers always wiggle around at no reason pre-snap every single play? Fields is going to throw it up, and L'Jarius Sneed's going to pick it off. I did user that, but he was right there. What is Velus Jones Jr. doing? It looked like he thought he was Superman and was trying to run around L'Jarius Sneed so fast that time reversed and the interception never happened. Tried to throw it up here. That's a nice play by Jaquan Brisker, I think. Only one play to go off of, but it's something. Gonna try the play action again. Nobody really bites. I don't know. That's kind of Madden for you, though, isn't it? We're gonna get wide open anyways. I decided to try the option with Mahomes, too, just to see. And he's just as bumbling. I'm not really sure why. I've used the option in this game before. Low awareness decision by Mahomes here, but he's controlled by me, so it doesn't count. The Bears were actually playing really sticky coverage down here, so maybe a point in the favor of the awareness boost. But then again, I always have that problem in the red zone. I decided to try a fake here, and I actually would have had it, but I didn't know what my buttons were, and I panicked. The Bears got one first down, and then this happened even slower than when I was running the option. I really don't know what's up. I'm going to go ahead and describe that as certifiably not 99 awareness play, though. I don't think I've ever actually played with the Mahomes-era Chiefs in Madden before, and so I played a little bit arrogant again, got myself picked. Juju wasn't at all open, so that was deserved. So the Bears got the ball inside their own 5 again. I, once again, couldn't make a hit-stick tackle to safety. Didn't matter. One thing I really want to know, why don't they let the camera back a little out of the end zone? This is ridiculous. I can't see a thing. It's super annoying when doing replays and stuff too. Like, come on, why? Tony's gonna take this kick and just kind of outrun everyone. 47 did a weird little sidestep thing instead of getting in the running lane, and one of the lowest resistance punt return touchdowns I've ever had. On the ensuing drive, the Bears did get some offense moving, including this nice little scramble from Fields. Doesn't really help, I'm not very familiar with 3-4 defensive playbook in this game, and the Chiefs seems kind of extra weird. But we got a coverage sack here, which isn't really what you'd expect from a team with a sum total of 0 awareness. And yeah, I know Karlaftis kind of jumped over a cut block and he was basically unblocked, but it did take him a few seconds to get there. Chicago got to a no man's land third down here, and Justin Fields did what I always did in Madden 2004 and just ran backwards out of the pocket for no reason. So yeah, not a high awareness play, I wouldn't say. Is that the low fatigue animation on their punter? I've never seen that before, although it would explain this atrocious punt. Kind of figured a high awareness team should sniff out a screen pass pretty easily, and yeah, the average Madden screen pass defense is a lot better than that. Went with a crossing route on play action, which is kind of like my bread and butter. Bears were in a zone, and I think Kindle Vildor, who was supposed to be in the high zone here, left to follow somebody else, which they do all the time, but I would like somebody with 99 awareness to not do that. I don't really know what my expectations were for this, but I'm kind of disappointed. I thought that the overall would do something. I thought I'd get more silly looking plays. The weirdest thing I had was Velus Jones Jr. running in circles, and he has 99 awareness. Well, I thought the Bears were actually going to finally drive down and score inside 2 minutes, but they wasted plays doing dumb stuff like that. Then they tried this screen pass. I probably shouldn't have used the linebacker to see if he'd pick up on the screen, but Karlaftis beat me to him, so it didn't really matter. So 48-yard field goal try. I thought they'd get on the board, but I guess the all Madden kicking sliders don't work that nice with all pro. So I guess it's not the awareness sliders that did that in the last game. I tried to really expose the supposed 99 awareness with a goal line play action, and it didn't work at all. I just wanted to get it to Kelsey. And apparently I didn't get out of bounds, so I had to burn a timeout. I still had like a minute and one timeout though, so I got a couple big chunk plays, and then I just rolled out with Mahomes. Nobody really noticed, and strolled in for the touchdown. I tried one last fake field goal just for good measure, and then I called this one off. Not halftime yet. I could see the awareness was not making a bona fide difference. There were in this one a couple of plays where I thought it might have come into play for the Bears, but not for the Chiefs, and that was a much more drastic change. And I really just felt like I was playing with the Super Bowl winning team against the Toilet Bowl winning team. The effect of awareness on actual gameplay was a total bust as far as I could tell, but I had one more idea up my sleeve. I wanted to try Sim in franchise. As luck would have it, the Chiefs and the Bears did have a matchup in week 1 of preseason. Of course, I took over both the Chiefs and the Bears so that neither would cut or sign anyone and pollute their roster with guys with normal awareness ratings. I also disabled injuries, automatic player progression, and just to be safe, I put all the XP sliders at 0. Mostly I just wanted to sim the whole season, but since we had a matchup here in week 1, even though it would be mostly backups because of the way that Madden handles preseason games, I figured we'd sim it and see what happened. Chicago wins 56 to 35, super high scoring game with some crazy quarterback stats. Interestingly, I was trying to find the highest combined score for a preseason game. The biggest one I found in the Super Bowl era was 1967. The Chiefs had just lost Super Bowl one to the Packers, wanted to prove themselves, and they beat the Bears 66 to 24, so one total point less than this game. The biggest recent score I could find was 59 to 24 over the Colts by the Packers in 2010. So for total points, this would edge out both of those, but kind of a neat connection. A lot of scoring through the air, not a lot of running. I didn't really know how to interpret this as far as how awareness played into it, though. That's as close as I really want to look at anything, though. Let's just skip ahead to the playoffs and see how they did. The Bears did go 7 and 10, 4 wins better than what they did in real life. I did use end of season rosters as my starting point, so they had Chase Claypool. Justin Fields was probably a little better overall, but still a good increase. The Chiefs, however, went 8 and 9, 6 fewer wins than they had in real life. Of course, 14 and 3 would be a really good year for any team in a Madden sim, but still a big drop off. They did go 6 and 0 in the division, which is crazy. Makes you think of 2010 when the Raiders went 8 and 8 but went 6 0 in the division. Thought I'd peek at the scores as well. Here's the Bears schedule. You can see a lot of not close games. I mean, this was not a good team under the hood. They just had a big awareness boost, but they also won a lot of games by a lot of points. Many of those against not good teams, but really very inconsistent or consistent, but kind of flipped the switch a few times throughout the season. They split their first two, then lost four straight, won six straight, and then lost their last five. The Chiefs' schedule was even more chaotic, got the doors blown off them week one, and then just kind of switching off week to week, winning by multiple scores, losing by multiple scores. Only a couple of close games in here. Not much rhyme or reason either. Beat some good teams, lost to some bad teams. I didn't take the time to go in depth and see which teams simmed well, but I'm going to assume that teams that were pretty good with their record in real life finished the year with pretty good Madden ratings as well. Gonna peek at some stats too. Justin Fields was really good, obviously much better in real life. I think we do need to credit that to the awareness boost. Montgomery had a decent year, whatever. Mooney was really good for some reason. I would have expected Claypool to do better. On defense, here's a surprise. Travis Gibson had 15.5 sacks, 15 TFLs as well. For the Chiefs, Mahomes had a lot of yards, but that really isn't that much when you think about how much the Chiefs playbook usually puts up in simming. 35 touchdowns, 14 interceptions for him, pretty whelming. Their run game was bad. Kelsey was really good. Tony was very good. He's not very self aware, anyways. Rookie Trent McDuffie had a lot of interceptions, which probably helps to be a rookie because they usually give you low awareness in this. I just scrolled through this to compare Mahomes and Fields on the season to the rest of the league, but it seems the conclusion here is awareness definitely does have an effect on simming, not very much on gameplay, and not as much on simming as I would think. The Bears all having 99 awareness but not being better at anything else than they already were, and getting 7 wins, that seems about right to me. But 8 wins for a 0 awareness team, even as one as stacked as the Chiefs, doesn't seem right to me. If you ask me, I kind of think they should just do away with awareness entirely and stop wasting our upgrade points on it. Like, if it doesn't matter in gameplay, it shouldn't matter in sim either. If you've got a different take, feel free to leave a comment below. If you got this far, think about leaving a like or subscribing. Anyways, since I got this far, I figured I'd just sim ahead and we could see who won the Super Bowl. What?